evening and welcome to the news tonight, where we get you the day's top stories from India and across the world. I'm Tracy Shilshi, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you all that. But first, the headlines. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mufti Muhammad Sayeeds is laid to rest in his hometown of Anantnag. State declares a 7-day mourning period, flags at half-mast. Mehbooba Mufti is all set to be the next Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. PDP delegation hands over the letter backing Mehbooba to the governor. Government reaches out to the Congress once again on the GST bill, shows willingness to advance the budget session of Parliament. Chinese markets come crashing down soon after they open for the day. Trigger falls in other Asian markets as well. And the 15-member UN Security Council holds an emergency session on North Korea's hydrogen bomb test, pledged to pursue new sanctions. Top story today, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mufti Muhammad Sayeeds passed away today due to multiple organ failure at the AIIMS hospital in New Delhi. He was 79 years old. His body was flown back to Srinagar and was laid to rest at his ancestral village in Anantnag's Bijbehara in South Kashmir. The Jammu and Kashmir government has declared a holiday on Thursday and a 7-day mourning period.
Tributes poured in from across the political spectrum for the J&K Chief Minister Mufti Muhammad Sayeeds, a crafty politician who became the country's first Muslim Home Minister. He was admitted to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences on December 24th and was treated for a lung infection. He died due to multiple organ failure, aged 79.
निश्चित रूप से उन्होंने जम्मू कश्मीर के विकास के लिए बहुत काम किया और एक स्टेटमेंट्स के रूप में उन्होंने प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाने का काम किया। ये दुखदाई खबर है, कुछ दिनों से वो बीमार चल रहे थे। मैं उनकी आत्मा को शांति मिले और परिवार को शक्ति मिले कि इस दुख भरी घटना को सह सके और उनकी आत्मा को शांति मिले।
The President, Vice President and Prime Minister expressed their heartfelt condolences on the passing away of the leader. In a condolence message to Mufti's daughter Mehbooba Mufti, President Pranab Mukherjee said that Mufti worked for the socio-political transformation and betterment of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari also paid rich tributes to Mufti, saying that his death was an irreparable loss to the country. Condoling his death, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that his demise leaves a huge void in the nation and in J&K. Mufti's mortal remains were flown back to Srinagar, where people paid their last respects to him at his official residence. He was later laid to rest at his ancestral village in Anantnag's Bijbehara in South Kashmir. The Jammu and Kashmir government has declared 7-day mourning as a mark of respect. Flags will be flown at half-mast during this time. He is the second J&K CM to die in office, the first one being Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah, who died on September 8, 1982. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now, Mufti Muhammad Sayeeds' daughter and PDP President Mehbooba Mufti is all set to become the next Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. She will be the first woman CM of the state. A party delegation met Governor N.N. Vora earlier today at Raj Bhavan in Srinagar and handed over a letter saying that the PDP MLAs unanimously backed her as the new CM of the state. However, it is not yet clear whether she will be sworn in as the new CM. PDP's coalition partner, the BJP, had left it to the PDP to choose its nominee for the post of Chief Minister.
अगर PDP को खड़ा किया किसी ने तो महबूबा और उनके फादर साहब जो अभी नहीं रहे, ये बड़ी कुर्बानी है इनकी, मैं आपको कह सकता हूँ। अगर हक की बात करें तो उसका तो हक बनता है, सीधी सी बात है, उसका हक बनता है। PDP में कोई राय नहीं है। तो जहां तक हमारा बीजेपी का सवाल है, हमारा उनसे अलायंस है, प्रोग्रेस पे, डेवलपमेंट पे वो हमारा है और हमने खुद उनको तय किया है कि उनकी पार्टी से सीएम और हमारी पार्टी से डिप्टी सीएम।
Well, leaders cutting across the political spectrum paid rich tributes to the tall leader, describing him as a statesman par excellence. Leaders said that he left a void that will be difficult to fill.
सिर्फ जम्मू कश्मीर का नहीं, भारत का एक बहुत बड़ा नेता रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए हम सब बहुत दुखी हैं।
जम्मू कश्मीर को भारत के साथ जोड़ने में, जम्मू कश्मीर में स्थिरता और शांति लाने में उन्होंने बहुत बड़ा योगदान दिया।
मैं कह सकता हूं कि इससे और भी कोई अफसोसनाक बात हो नहीं सकती। बहुत ही शॉकिंग है।
तो एक बहुत ही अनुभवी नायक हमसे दूर हो गए हैं।
ऐसे समय में जब आतंकवाद अपना सर उठाए हुए लगातार अपने गंदी हरकतों में लगा हुआ है, मुफ्ती मोहम्मद सईद साहब का उठ जाना और नुकसानदेह का क्षति हुई है हम लोगों को सबको।
मुफ्ती साहब के निधन से देश को बहुत बड़ी क्षति हुई है और व्यक्तिगत रूप से रामविलास पासवान और लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी को क्षति हुई है।
देश के प्रति हमेशा चिंता से और समस्याओं से वो पूरी तरह वाकिफ रहते थे। वो देश को भी पूरी तरह जानते थे और कश्मीर को भी पूरी तरह जानते थे।
अब ऐसे परिस्थिति में मुफ्ती साहब का रहना जो है और उनका पूरा अनुभव जो रहा है इतने सदियों से, उसका बहुत बड़ा फायदा होता है अपने मुल्क को।
वो ऐसा व्यक्ति थे कि विभिन्न किस्म के जो माइंडसेट वाले लोगों को कैरी करके पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस में शामिल किया था।
सारे देश के लिए और खास करके जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए बहुत बड़ा नुकसान हुआ है,
क्योंकि मुफ्ती साहब ने कश्मीर की आवाम के लिए काम किया है और एक पार्टी वहां पर बनाई और उनका जो साबिका टेन्योर रहा है उसमें काफी तरक्याती काम भी उन्होंने करवाए थे।
Well, as you could hear those leaders say, Mufti Muhammad Sayeed had carved a niche for himself in national as well as Jammu and Kashmir politics. Considered an astute organizer and administrator, Sayeed took charge of the state on the 1st of March 2015 for the second time, heading the implausible PDP-BJP coalition. Here's a look on the life and times of the leader.
Flags flying at half-mast to mourn the irreparable loss of the great son of India, Mufti Muhammad Sayeed. A glorious political career spanning nearly 6 decades, rising from an obscure lawyer to reaching the pinnacle in the only Muslim-majority state in the country. Born on 12 January 1936 in Baba Mohalla of Bijbehara in Anantnag district of Jammu and Kashmir, Sayeed had his early education at a local school and graduated from SP College in Srinagar. He went on to obtain a law degree and master's degree in Arab history from the Aligarh Muslim University. Sayeed cut his political teeth early, joining the Democratic National Conference in the late 1950s. Moving towards his great political destiny step by step, Sayeed was soon appointed the district convener of the party, an MLA from his hometown Bijbehara, and then a deputy minister. However, Sayeed had bigger things in store for him. Just a few years later, he left the party to join the Indian National Congress, a courageous and risky decision at that time. Sayeed played a pivotal role in ensuring that Congress not only got a foothold in the valley, but created pockets of staunch support. Sayeed rapidly grew in stature, becoming a minister in the state and also the Congress party's leader in the Legislative Council. A couple of years later, he was elected the state Congress president. The high point in his political journey came in 1989 when he was catapulted to the chair of Free India's first Muslim Home Minister. He emerged as a rival power center to the mighty Abdullahs, always playing his cards close to his chest. Sayeed played a major role in imposition of governor's rule in J&K on all 5 occasions during his epic political career. After being shifted to Delhi as Union Home Minister for Tourism and Civil Aviation and back to the Congress, Sayeed won the Anantnag Lok Sabha seat in 1998, only to part ways with the Congress and float a regional outfit, the People's Democratic Party, in 1999. Owing to Sayeed's political genius, PDP made significant gains in the valley, also securing a 3-year stint as the Chief Minister. Sayeed was sworn in as the 9th Chief Minister of State on 2nd November 2002, fulfilling a long-standing dream. The party continued to gain in strength, winning all 3 Lok Sabha seats in the 2014 general elections and emerging as the single largest party in the assembly elections. Sayeed became the unanimous choice for Chief Minister when PDP and BJP reached an agreement to form a coalition government and took oath on 1st of March 2015. Many say Sayeed's death has created a void in politics which will be difficult to fill.
And now let's move on to more national news. And amid the stalemate over the GST bill, the NDA government once again reached out to the main opposition, Congress, seeking its support. The Congress, however, has termed the government's efforts as mere optics.
Aiming to get its key economic reform measure, the GST bill, cleared during the budget session, the NDA government once again reached out to the Congress on Thursday. Parliamentary Affairs Minister M. Venkaiah Naidu called on Congress Chief Sonia Gandhi seeking her support for the passage of the crucial bill.
Congress have raised 3 issues. Those issues have been addressed by the Finance Minister, has been communicated to the Congress party. So I suggested to the Congress President that they should discuss it and then get back to the government at the earliest so that we can move forward in the larger interests of country. The Congress President told me that they will discuss it among themselves.
The Congress, meanwhile, expressed its willingness to pass the bill but termed the efforts made by the government as mere optics.
We do not want to put any hurdles. We have made public what we consider to be reasonable issues that must be resolved before the GST is put in place. The 1% issue, the capping issue and the dispute resolution issue. So they are not willing to compromise. और इसकी असलियत आपको बता दूं, उसका रीजन ये है कि स्वदेशी जागरण मंच और आरएसएस इसके खिलाफ है और आरोप कांग्रेस पार्टी पे लगा रहे हैं.
This is the second major outreach by the government to the top Congress leadership on the GST bill. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had met his predecessor Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi over tea at his residence on November 27th last year to try and bring an end to the stalemate. Congress has sought 3 changes to the proposed bill. With inputs from Pranab Goswami and Vishal Daya, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
India today put the ball squarely in Pakistan's court with regard to the Foreign Secretary level talks between both countries. MEA spokesperson Vikas Swarup said today that the future of the talks depends on Pakistan's response to the Pathankot attack probe. Though India has not set any deadline for Pakistan to take action against the perpetrators allegedly from the neighbouring country, it has expressed hope that Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif will act before the talks scheduled for the 15th of January. And as per India's hopes in this regard, the Pakistani Prime Minister called a high-level meeting today to discuss the Pathankot terror attack. He reportedly directed officials to speed up work on the leads given by India. Meanwhile, the Indian investigation agencies have identified 3 handlers of the deadly attack: Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Maulana Masood Azhar, his brother Rauf and other 2 associates. This information has also been shared with Pakistan.
The terrorist attack on the Pathankot airbase has once again put renewed focus on the challenge posed by cross-border terrorism. As far as we are concerned, the ball is now in Pakistan's court. The immediate issue in front of us is Pakistan's response to the terrorist attack and the actionable intelligence that has been provided to it. We are waiting for Pakistan to take action on the actionable intelligence that has been provided to them and the assurances that have been given to us of prompt and decisive action. Obviously, if that prompt and decisive action happens, it creates a different dynamic.
All right, with that, a quick break here. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
Mufti Muhammad Sayeed, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister, passes away. A man who'd headed some unusual political combinations. How will his passing affect the state and its politics? Watch The Big Picture at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Let's get you some international news now. In a plunge in Chinese stocks and a falling yuan sent Asian markets plunging on Thursday as worries intensified about the country's economy and whether authorities had lost their grip on the market. The newly launched mechanism, the circuit breaker, has triggered soon after the markets opened for the day. This is the second time that this happened this week. Thursday also marked the shortest trading day in the market's 25-year history. Indian markets too hit the Chinese wall and closed significantly lower.
Markets in China stopped trading just about 30 minutes after they opened today, when shares fell more than 7%, triggering an automatic circuit breaker. This is the second time this week that the newly installed mechanism to limit volatility has been triggered.
And this circuit breaker rule not only did not reduce market fluctuation, actually it exacerbated the market fluctuation, because when the market falls, everybody will fall over each other trying to sell.
The benchmark Shanghai Composite Index slumped 7.32% or 245.95 points. Pessimism spread quickly as the People's Bank of China devalued the yuan as well, setting the daily reference exchange rate against the US dollar 0.5% weaker compared with Wednesday's level. This is the largest adjustment of the yuan since August 2013. Experts feel that by letting the yuan depreciate, Beijing is hoping that a weaker currency would boost exports.
Chinese authorities are not able to handle the slowdown, which is more looking more profound in the Chinese economy, and they're letting yuan to devaluate so that exports may get a booster. This is what is markets are sensing, and simultaneously we are selling some kind of more selling coming in the commodities, because the Chinese weakness shows that there would be a less demand for the commodities.
The panic triggered by the Chinese plunge reflected in the Indian markets too. The BSE benchmark Sensex plunged 554.50 points to close below the 25,000 level, while the Nifty cracked the 7,600 mark, falling 172.70 points to 7,568.30. The government, however, asserted that the Indian economy is well cushioned.
India is well cushioned. The resilience of our economy is inherent in our economy. We have the inherent resilience. We are well cushioned. India continues to be one of the fastest growing economies.
The tempest in China's markets reverberated around the world as well. Among the Asian stock markets, Japan's benchmark Nikkei 225 index fell 2.3%, South Korea's Kospi lost 1.1%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng shed 3.1%. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
But here's a silver lining for India. It will continue to be the bright spot of the global economy this year as well. The World Bank has projected that Indian economy would grow at a robust 7.8% in the fiscal year 2016-17. Strong investor sentiment and the positive effect of the recent fall in oil prices will propel the growth engines of India.
The World Bank has given Indian economy reasons to cheer this year. In its report, Global Economic Prospects, the bank projected Indian economy to grow at 7.8% in 2016-17 and 7.9% in the next 2 years. It, however, marginally reduced India's growth rate by 0.2% in 2015 and 0.1% in both 2016 and 2017. Despite that, India continues to be the bright spot of the global economy. Meanwhile, the World Bank estimates that China grew at an estimated 6.9% in 2015 and is estimated to grow at 6.7% in 2016. The world economy as a whole would grow at 2.9%, it says, a modest upturn from 2.4% growth estimated for 2015. Industry captains feel that investment in infrastructure will augur well for the economic growth projections.
They have to develop the infra. These infra finance companies, they have built up an expertise over the years. So if they can be levered and they can be built up and supported, I think it can go a long way in building the infrastructure and bringing in investment in the sector.
World Bank also pointed out that India's currency and stock markets were largely resilient over the past year, even during bouts of volatility in the global financial markets. However, on the home turf, exporters have voiced concerns over the constant decline in exports and urged the government to remove bottlenecks.
Custom duty on the raw material should be reduced. Then there is no competition. It is very difficult for the manufacturer. So these irritants should be removed.
The World Bank expects Russia and Brazil to remain in recession in 2016. while Pakistan's economy is expected to grow at around 4.5%. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha television.
Now to the expected strong global reactions to North Korea's claimed hydrogen bomb tests. The United States, South Korea and Japan have agreed to launch a united and strong international response as experts scramble to find more details about the detonation that drew worldwide skepticism and condemnation. Here's more.
The members of the Security Council held urgent consultations to address the serious situation arising from the nuclear test conducted by the DPKR on January 6, 2016. The members of the Security Council strongly condemned this test.
A day after North Korea tested a hydrogen bomb, the United Nations Security Council pledges to pursue new sanctions. The US, Japan and South Korea had called an emergency session of the Council on Wednesday.
This act is profoundly destabilizing for regional security and seriously undermines international non-proliferation efforts.
The White House called on North Korea to denuclearize while confirming China and the US were united in their rejection of North Korea as a nuclear state. North Korea on Wednesday bragged about what it called the spectacular success of its first ever hydrogen bomb test, with leader Kim Jong-un saying that it will make the world look up to his strong nuclear country. India expressed deep concern and stressed on North Korea's links with Pakistan, with reports suggesting that Pakistan provided much of the machinery to make the bomb.
Whatever this event was, whether it was a hydrogen bomb or something less than that, it all works towards their goal of making smaller, more efficient weapons that they can then put on top of missiles.
South Korea's presidential office announced on Wednesday that it will resume loudspeaker propaganda broadcasts towards North Korea at the inter-Korean border from Friday. North Korea conducted nuclear tests in 2006, 2009 and 2013. The hydrogen bomb test and threats of stronger sanctions threatens to further deepen its international isolation. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, it's been a year since the horrific attack on the offices of Charlie Hebdo in Paris. A year ago on this day, 17 people were killed when gunmen opened fire at the office of their satirical magazine and a Jewish supermarket. Parisians laid flowers and lit candles at the attack site as a mark of respect for those who were killed. No official events are planned for the day, but France will hold a week-long activity to commemorate the victims of the attack. French President François Hollande is also expected to announce more stringent laws for counter-terrorism operations. Meanwhile, the anniversary issue of Charlie Hebdo magazine has hit the shelves in France. And now let's take you through some more international news updates in Global Buzz. Qatar has recalled its ambassador to Iran following the attacks on the Saudi embassy in the capital Tehran and on the general consulate of the northern city of Mashhad. Qatar thus became the fifth Gulf Cooperation Council member to recall its ambassador from the Iranian capital following the attacks. The GCC has condemned Iran's blatant interference in the domestic affairs of Gulf and Arab countries. Bangladesh's Jamaat-e-Islami Party has called for a countrywide strike tomorrow after the Supreme Court upheld the death penalty for its chief, Matiur Rahman Nizami, for arms trafficking and 1971 war crimes against humanity. It is the first strike called by the party after it lost registration amid calls for a ban. The special tribunal had last year said that the death penalty would be the only fitting punishment for the horrendous crimes committed by Nizami. The International Committee of the Red Cross has warned that the situation in 3 besieged villages in Syria was extremely dire. Activists say that civilians have died because of a lack of food and medicine or died trying to escape in rebel-controlled Madaya. People are reportedly eating grass to survive in the government-held Foa in Kefraya in the northeast. At least 50 people were killed when a truck bomb targeted a police training center in the Libyan city of Zlatan. Reports say that hundreds of recruits were outside performing exercises when the bomb exploded. Libya has been hit by instability since Muammar Gaddafi was overthrown in 2011, and there are rising concerns over the Islamic State militants gaining a foothold. And now let's take you through all the action from the world of sports in SportsBeat. Indian shooter Apuvi Chandela was named the shooter of the tournament after she won her second gold medal at the Swedish Cup Grand Prix. The 23-year-old's second goal came in the women's 10-meter air rifle tri-series event. She had won her first gold medal on Tuesday with a world record score of 211.2. Top seed Stanislas Wawrinka advanced to the quarterfinals of the Chennai Open after beating Russian teenager Andrei Rublev 6-3, 6-2. He will next face Spanish fifth-seeded Guillermo Garcia Lopez. Indian tennis ace Leander Paes and his Spanish teammate Marcel Granollers are in the action in the men's doubles quarterfinals. Hashim Amla resigned as South African captain after the Proteas drew the second test of the four-match series against England. Despite his double hundred in the drawn test, Amla was under pressure after a lean run patch against the top-ranked team. Amla captained South Africa in 14 tests, winning 4, drawing 6 and losing 4. ODI skipper A.B. de Villiers will take over as captain for the remaining 2 tests. Lionel Messi scored twice as Barcelona came from behind to beat Espanyol in the first leg of their Copa del Rey pre-quarter final. Barca went behind in the 9th minute, but Messi equalized and then put the Catalans ahead with a free kick. He also assisted the other 2 goals. The second leg of the tie will be played on the 13th of January. And that's all we have for you on the news tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.